All right, welcome everyone to bonus Raceday 2025 Day 2 coverage here on the CMU Buggy YouTube channel. My name is Brian Arsham. I am the live stream producer today, producing remotely. Will Weiner is absent today, so we're going to have some different voices, but some people you heard yesterday, Nate Klein, Sophie Halpern, as well as Connor Hayes on the broadcast, as well as myself. We're going to get started in a few minutes here.
Yeah, I was just
hopefully,
saying.
hopefully this is working, and hopefully people can see things.
What's up, Brian? We're live.
Awesome. I am hoping this is the technical test part of the broadcast where I try and figure out if this is even working. We're a few minutes out, so for people who weren't here yesterday, this is the second weekend of Carnival of Race Day. Carnival was mostly washed out. The broadcast, this is not a WRCT broadcast. This is not a CMU-TV broadcast. They do really good jobs. We do really scuffed jobs. So we're going to try our best here. If there are live stream issues, we'll try and remedy them. Hopefully, we can hear me. We've got people on the course. Just be aware, there might not be a lot of video today. We're going to try and get you live video when we can, but it depends on what's available. There will be recordings of the races being made on site, and we will get those up on YouTube as soon as they are ready. I think we're probably just a couple of minutes out from the timing heat, so I'm going to kick it over to Nate Klein in the lead truck today and give you a little background of what's going on at the races.
Hey guys, sorry I'm not Will, but I'll be doing my best to fill in his shoes today from the lead truck. Just a quick recap of what things look like this year.
Should be the same length as yesterday.
It's similar to a one-day race day where everyone gets one heat, but this year we're going to be doing a bunch of mixed gender heats to try to fit everyone into the allowed time of these shortened days for race day. So in case you missed it from yesterday, on the women's side, the current standings are SDCA with a 239.06 in first place, followed by SDCB, CIAC, Fringe A, and CMU A, with some of the favorites still to race being CIA's A and B teams, Pica A, and Spirit A. And on the men's side, we've got CIA A in first with a 211.49, followed by Pica A, CIA B, CMU A, and SDCC, with the heavy hitters still to race being SDC A, SDC B, SIGEP A, and Spirit A, as well as plenty of other teams who could surprise us later in the day today. I'll kick it over maybe to Sophie in the chute to say a few words about the weather and how everything's looking.
Good morning, Buggy enthusiasts. Coming to you from the chute. It is a crisp April morning. If anyone's wondering if it's warmer today, the answer is no. But that's all right. Even playing field, and all the teams look super excited out here today. Really, really happy to be here and see some great racing.
Good morning, Buggy fans. I am not Will Weiner, but I'm trying to do my best Will Weiner impression so people can feel like it is race day. This is Connor Hayes down here at the bottom of Hill 1. Everybody is starting to get their stretching in. We see Apex jumping around, doing some jumping jacks. Fringe is standing around, getting their buggies ready to go. SDC has got their tent closed off as per usual. Nobody can see inside, but clearly they're cooking up something fast, as we saw yesterday in a couple of their rolls. And just excited to see what is going to happen today and how we're going to close out races this year.
Yep. Yesterday we had some awesome driving by every single team. Even in the cold, some insane rollouts, some great lines. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of that.
Yeah, Sophie, I was standing down in the chute with you yesterday for a little bit, and I hope some of those teams tell their pushers to move a little bit higher up the hill so that we don't see as many burns on Hill 3 as we were seeing yesterday.
People are bringing the speed. What can we say, you know?
And it's interesting.
People are bringing the speed at 6 a.m, and I love that.
And we have, the setup for this year is different than every other year in the past, where you've got men's and women's teams going up against each other. Today, it's a mix. I think some women's only, some men's only. A very exciting heat, looking like it's coming in Heat 10 between CIA Women's A and DG Women's A. It's also interesting to see a bunch of the teams decided to wait to push their A team to Sunday. So we saw, CIA Men's A and Pica Men's A yesterday, SDC Women's A yesterday. But a lot of the big, like Nate was saying, a lot of the big heavy hitters are coming later today. So we'll see if the extra day of rest made things better. I think at
2 minutes.
at least some
2
teams.
minutes. Timing heat. 2 minutes.
Yeah, Brian, so I don't know if you heard in the background there, but we were 2 minutes until the timing heat down here. And one note I wanted to say about that Sunday idea, it allows the teams to break off all the rust, right? They can have their D and C teams get themselves ready for their A teams on Sunday if they practice those on Saturday.
Do we know who's going to be racing in this timing heat?
We see a Spirit Buggy down here at the bottom of the hill. The name is on the top, so let me take a look.
Okay, yeah, I just
it is
told
Sarah.
Spirit drivers versus Apex drivers. Okay. All right, yeah, we've got Molotov versus Seraph, is what I'm told.
Well, Apex doesn't seem inclined to be getting their buggy to the line anytime soon down here. Spirit was running, saying that they were running late, and they got here about 2 minutes to the line.
That's why we have practice heats.
It's always fun to see the drivers
picking up Molotov and carrying to the line now.
It's always fun to see the drivers of different teams match up against each other and sort of getting to see the teams mix up the roles a little bit and give everyone a little taste of everything.
We are 30 seconds to start of the race down here. Both buggies are now, one is at the line, Apex is just carrying up, so they'll be here just in time for their race.
I think me and the flaggers have a secondary job this year of warding off deer. So hopefully there's no issues with that. But there's definitely been a couple running around this morning.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set.
Like, we're getting started here with the timing heat. Apex drivers versus Spirit drivers. Looks like the Spirit drivers a little bit faster uphill one. Creating, this doesn't look like a driver to me, but creating some separation on hill 1. Coming up pretty quickly on the 1-2 transition here. Apex still working their way up hill 1. A really nice transition from 1 to 2 as the Spirit pusher. Let's see if they do their sort of patented late hill 2 push off. No, look, pretty standard. A bit of a wobble on that hill 2 as they come across the stop sign around a 34 second. And Seraph is rolling nicely. Apex just now coming over the hill, crossing the stop sign around 45. Seraph staying sort of right inside that bike lane paint line, a little further from the curb, but sort of coming in and tightening up that line now. Couple of wobbles here and there. It's a little bit of a windy day out, so we might be seeing some of that. Can't really see Apex in the background at all right now. Stop sign time of around 1:05 here for Seraph as we get to the transition flag. Very nice transition over into the second set of bike lanes, approaching the chute turn now. Sophie, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing Seraph rocking the pink this year. Nailed her line. Have fun, Spirit.
Taking.
Here comes Molotov. taking her turn.
Pretty good pickup for this Hill 3 pusher from Spirit. Kind of knew where it was going to be. A lot of pushes on this Hill 3, though, but pretty nice rollout, all things considered, for a early morning timing heat. Coming up on the 3 to 4 transition here.
And Molotov's getting picked up right now. Nice job, Apex.
The Hill 4 pusher here for the Spirit. Supposedly drivers, but maybe just an exhibition heat. Looking pretty fast. Coming at, I don't know if I see a Hill 5 pusher waiting for the Buggy. I assume they'll have someone come out. But
their Hill 4 can just give a good shove at the end.
Yeah.
So it is not unknown, or this has happened before, but sometimes there have been drivers that push on their team's women's A, which is a fun historical fact and one of my favorites. I don't think that's happening this year, but that has happened in the past.
CIA has had a few of those in the past. Looks like there was a Hill 5 pusher. I can't really see the finish line from here, but they're going to be coming across around... They're almost there. Coming across 3 minutes right about now. And that's going to be around a 3:05 for the Spirit Drivers squad here. Very nice
job,
showing.
Spirit Drivers.
Apex. I can't see them yet, but I think they're hear the team cheering. Seems like they're coming up at the end of the hill here. I accidentally stopped my stopwatch instead of splitting, so I'm not exactly sure what that time's going to be.
So, interesting note I'm hearing from down here at bottom of Hill 1. Apex's Buggy is going to roll in the next hill. They just called 4 minutes, so they've got to get finished sometime soon. Get down here, do drops, and get that Buggy back to the line.
Yeah, that's going to be really tight.
Putting the Molotov driver to work.
Sure. And if they just called 4 minutes, I'm not sure if they added time to the gun-to-gun, but that would probably be around a 4.5 minute course time total. Very nice showing from both of these driver squads for our timing heat here.
Want to give a shout out to all the senior drivers and all the seniors involved today. Really soak up this moment and your roles. And you'll be with BAA next year and the years to come on the other side of it. But really cherish these moments today. It's going to be a great day.
So I've got my eyes on drops down here. Seraph just passed with flying colors. Apex is coming down to the line, so they'll probably have about 30 seconds left to get their Buggy to the line by the time they're done with drops. But all in all, Spirit had a very jubilous one person today. Yesterday, their entire team screamed in joy when they passed drops. So a little bit more subdued today, but still some joy there.
I mean, whatever Spirit's doing, they've got Buggies that have these insane rollouts, insane paint jobs, and then also are passing drops. And that's a great trio, in my opinion. So right on, Spirit.
Yeah, they seem to have saved most of their A and B teams for today. So it's good to see them get off to a strong start even in the timing heat.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It looks like we do have official times of the exhibition heat. The Spirit drivers were a 3:04.77, and the Apex drivers were a 3:57.86.
All right, we got like a minute 30, y'all.
Well, right, what I can tell you is
on.
We just watched Molotov down here at drop. So what I can tell you is it may not be the fastest Buggy in the world, but it definitely may have set a record for the best stop I've ever seen at drops. I think it may have been 2 inches past the line.
Wow.
That's cool.
I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm pretty sure we didn't see any drops failures yesterday, which is great news for all the teams. But, I don't want to talk about it too much, just in case.
So Apex is doing a full test at drops right now. They're calling 1 minute at the line. They're putting the hatch back on, and they're going to be running to get this thing down to the line in time. So I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, in case you're not aware, after the drops test is passed, the safety chair or someone standing in for the safety chair has to come to the tent and do what's called a spot safety, where they check on all the driver's gear, make sure that they're properly fastened into the buggy and all of that as well after the race. So I assume they're doing that without bringing it back to the tent so they have time to get to the line.
Yeah, they literally just did a pirouette down here at the bottom of the hill, and they just threw it up at the line. They've got a mechanic holding it now, and somebody is coming up to push this buggy. I'm not sure that it's a woman's pusher for their D team, but
yeah, this is going to be Apex Men's D and Molotov versus Fringe Women's C in Burnout.
4, 3, 2, 1, ready, set, go!
And Apex is pushing in a cape today on this hill, which is amazing. They're pulling out to a pretty big lead here.
Yeah, the Apex Men's D pusher here, Gene Young, making some separation, waving to the fans in the crowd. We love to see that, having fun on race day. This is Buggy after all. It's fun as Gene here comes up on the 1-2 transition. Big shove off to Ethan Kane, taking Molotov out to Hill 2. Let's see where the shove is. I can't quite see Burnout right now. And
Burnout is just going into the transition. It was a solid one, but they're a little behind.
Yeah, Ethan Kane, Hill 2 pusher there, doesn't quite catch back up to the buggy. He doesn't get a huge shove off, but Molotov is rolling nicely here, crossing over the double yellows. As I think I see Burnout in the distance just now making the crosswalk. Oh, I forgot to start my timer.
It's all right, Nate. You're doing a great job.
Molotov keeping real tight to the curve here as we approach the paint lines and the stop sign. Looking pretty quick for especially for a D team here. Coming up on the transition now, Apex Flagger reaching out over the curb with that orange flag and sort of crossing halfway through that green box that may or may not be familiar with from past years, as Apex taking sort of a closer lane line coming into the chute. What are you looking at?
Hello again, Molotov. Tight line, made it through nicely, and here comes Burnout.
A lot of speed lost here for Molotov, the Hill 3 pusher, running backwards a little bit to catch up to it.
Let's see what Burnout's going to do. And
yeah,
she looks like she did not burn her Hill 3 pusher.
Yeah, great pickups from both. Much more speed on that on Burnout coming out of the chute than on Molotov, but the Apex pushers still separating a little bit from Fringe, who aren't that far behind. The 3-4 transition coming through for Apex. And yeah, more capes here on the back hills for this Apex D team.
I have to imagine the wheels on those Apex buggies are colder than I am right now.
Yeah, no time to swap them out even in the tent. Coming up here on the 4-5 transition for Apex, gonna be Jared Block taking us home for our first competitive heat of the day, as I see Burnout on the horizon behind them, finishing up Hill 4. Apex team hyped up right now for their D team. It's exciting just to have 4 teams out here, especially in a year like this. Going to be coming across the line in a couple of seconds here. I don't have the time for you. I'm sorry. But
Nate, we just got the 4-minute call, so they're at about 3 minutes right now.
All right, so it's going to be about a 3:02 for Apex Men's D. Fringe Women's C, Hill 5 still coming. That's Anna Capella. Fringe, not quite as big a crowd as Apex at the finish line, but still excited for their pushers. And yeah, she's looking fast, coming up a little bit on sort of the right side. Probably sticking to that bike lane line to make sure that the buggy's still going straight. Coming across right about now. Great roll from both teams.
So that'd be about a 3:40 for Fringe there, based on the start time.
Yeah, so neither of those teams, putting up podium times in this heat, but C teams and D teams not usually expected to be in those positions, and it's just great to see that these teams are able to field so many push rosters this year.
Give another kudos to Fringe. They're a team that continues to build a new buggy every year, and that included COVID, and that's just something they're dedicated to doing, and they always look really, really nice and roll really nice. So congrats again, Fringe.
All right, we've got eyes on drops again here, and Molotov comes to a stop. Maybe not as fast as last time, but still quite good. Break and release 3 times, and it has passed drops.
And I just want to jump in and remind people, if you're watching the YouTube at home, we're getting cell phone cameras, cell phone video from people on the course, but we don't have people stationed everywhere. It's whoever's around and happens to have a cell phone camera. So don't be surprised if you get some video, but not all video. But we do have some that we've seen here from the Hill 1-2 transition area. So thank you for that.
Brian, I've got eyes on drops here for Burnout. The Fringe mechanics are down here pleading that it will stop. I think they'll be fine. They usually do great with drops. Solid stop, not even halfway through the zone. There's a release, break again, release, break, release, break. And we're good. We passed drops.
These teams passing drops with no problems. Looking ahead to our next.
We love safety.
Yeah, we love safety here, especially on a weird race day like this. Want to make sure everything is as safe as possible. Looking at our next heat here, it's going to be CIA Men's D rolling their new buggy Starling versus Spirit Men's B in Seraph. You have to think that Spirit Men's B is going to be coming out quite ahead on this one, and I think that they've got the potential to be sort of a heavy hitter in this men's division.
Spirit's a little bit chaotic down here at the bottom of the hill today. They're getting to the lines, but they are definitely running to get out here. But they still got 30 seconds left, so.
And just to give you the official times are in from the last heat. Apex Men's D with a 3:08.36. Fringe Women's C with a 3:42.68. So Connor's unofficial timing based on time left to the next heat, pretty effective.
All right, so Starling is already down on the course. Seems like maybe they're not heating their wheels for this one. We are at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, go!
Spirit, little wobbly on the hill one, really wobbly on the hill one, getting out to a strong lead, but maybe driving a little further than they'd have to on this hill one otherwise. But a very nice hill one for the Spirit B pusher. Kenny Huang coming up on the 1-2 transition here, pushing off to Amari Boxel, who takes a big tumble, gets back up though. That's a fighter, catching right back up to the buggy. Coming across the stop sign, or the crosswalk around a 35-second crosswalk time, a nice early shove there. The CIA buggy coming across the crosswalk around a 40-second mark. That was Isaac Howe on the Hill 2 shove, and not a whole lot of separation between these buggies. Starling maybe, a good 40 feet behind Seraph here, and you would expect that Seraph is going to roll out faster here with a stronger Hill 2 push and being on their B team. Coming up on the paint lines now, coming a little wider from the curb with a stop sign time of around 103, 104. So a little slower than you might expect from a men's B team coming up to the transition flag, but, considering all the front hills antics, not too crazy. What are you seeing in the chute, Sophie?
I'm seeing Seraph. I'm seeing Seraph's fans. We got some Spirit alums out here. A wide turn, but she made it through. CIA also turning very nicely.
That was a beautiful Hill 3 pickup for the Spirit B pusher here, Jake Ballant. Very fast, maybe 3 shoves, a bump, and now coming up on the transition to Hill 4, pushing off to Jeremiah Cochran, who's looking quite fast. These back hills pushers are no joke for Spirit B this year. Coming across 2 minutes here for this right, yeah, 202, 203 as we come to the 4-5 transition here for Spirit B. Pushing off to Jamari Tucson. And he is flying up this hill 5. I think he might catch the lead truck at this point. Spirit is hyped up here, coming across the finish line for Spirit B with a very respectable time. This is going to be around a 2:29, just under the 2:30 mark if my timing is anywhere near accurate. And Starling coming up behind them, not very far behind here. That's Thomas O'Brien doing the hill 5 for CIAD, coming across at around a 250.77. So that's a great D team time, breaking the 3-minute mark for CIA. And yeah, we'll have to see if we can sort out sort of what happened on the front hills for Spirit B.
So I can give you a little bit.
Fast.
I can give you a little bit of context down here. It seemed like the coming up hill 1, they were slightly outside the line to the left. I mean, they weren't interfering with anybody, so hopefully that won't be an issue. And the hill 2 pusher just tripped when he was going after his first big shove after the transition. But heading up and getting up to that buggy and making a push off was a really awesome recovery from him.
Yeah, I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. If Buggy team members or anything, it's resilient, and they're not going to let a little trip and fall on the course stop them from getting to that buggy when they need to.
All right, we got eyes on drops down here. Seraph has successfully passed drops, and Starling is now coming up behind to do their drop test, and hopefully we'll see a continuation of our, if you guys can hear it, Spirit is really hyped up that pass in the background. And here we go. Starling is lining up. We've got a stop sign as a stop flag for CIA here for drops, which is pretty cool. Wondering if they stole it from Beeler or Wilkins.
As they should.
I plead the 5th.
As they should.
All right. And Starling has passed the first part of drops. Now we just got to see the release and re-break. First one is good. Second one is better. Third one is golden. CIA has passed drops. And that is a continuation of a streak of no failed drops for the weekend.
It seems. Looking at our next heat here, it's going to be Siget Men's B rolling Kraken versus Fringe Women's B rolling Bermuda, which I believe is their new build for the year. Getting confirmation that that's true.
That we haven't seen race yet this spring.
That's correct. That's
quite exciting. I remember seeing it at the showcase last week during Carnival and being very impressed just with the paint job and the apparent build quality. So I'm really excited to see. Rolling is their women's B, so surely they have at least some level of belief in this buggy to be, a top contender.
I think it's a real nice recovery for them. Fringe has definitely been on a rebound for the last few years, and their build quality has been getting slowly better, but the build from this year really lines up with what they were doing pre-COVID. So it's really awesome to see that they're kind of back on their game here with builds.
I just want to get those official times from the last heat in. Spirit Men's B coming in currently sitting 8th place with a 229.44, and CIA Men's D currently sitting 14th with a 250.8. As we come up here, heat 3, about a minute out now between Siget Men's B with Kraken and Fringe Women's B with Bermuda.
Hey, great call, Brian, because we just crossed the 1-minute line. We have no buggies yet coming to the line. Oh, no, that is a lie. Here comes Kraken. So they're coming out plenty early with about 45 seconds. They're going to make it up to the line, and they are, as we say to piss off Mark Estes, floating the taco.
Excited to see what this Siget B team sort of brings to the table this year.
Siget has a very interesting color wheel this year. It's kind of purpley, maybe Sharpie colored. Interesting.
Anything to hide those trade secrets.
And Fringe has just made it out to the line with 13 seconds left. So we are at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ready, set.
I'm hearing the hype down there through the stream.
Yeah, you can hear it everywhere. This Siget men's speed pusher looking very fast on Hill 1, creating lots of separation from Katie Kress on Fringe. That's Tyler Schweitzer giving a nice transition shove to the Hill 2 pusher, Jack
Siget just did
Fallows.
a 16 or 17 second Hill 1 on their B team. If this is
Yeah,
their
that
B
was
team, what do they have on their A
blazing fast.
team?
Big shove into Hill 2 for the cross, about a 30-second crosswalk time from Siget B here. Very nice. Still don't see Bermuda coming up over Hill 2 yet, but Kraken is moving, staying sort of out towards the double yellows for, a little later than some of the other teams and a little bit wider here from the curb, but doing a great job just rolling smooth, not too many wobbles as we approach the stop sign here. Coming up to the paint lines. Ooh, a lot of wobbling there. Stop sign time of around 58.5, so that is quite fast for a B team coming up on the transition flag, and let's hope that they can keep it together through the chute despite some earlier wobbles.
All right. I like what I see, Kraken. Let's see what these back hills got.
Chute turn looked good there from Kraken.
Here comes Bermuda. I wish I was in Bermuda. Just kidding. I'm happy to be here at Buggy.
Great Hill 3 pickup there for the Siget pusher, Jack Parfit. Knew exactly where that buggy was going to be. Rollouts seem a little smaller today, I think just because it's so much colder, but a nice transition to the Hill 4 pusher. And he is moving. This Siget team is moving. We're not even at 2 minutes yet, and this 4-5 transition might even come before the 2-minute mark here.
And Fringe had a nice pickup down at Hill 3.
4-5 transition coming right around the 2:02:02 mark. Arjun Rajagopala blasting up Hill 5. This is going to be quite a competitive time for the Siget B squad. Might even place them in that trophy range. Coming across the line. Going to stand up and try to see. Going to be coming across at a 2:25.2. Really nice B team time for the Siget
nice
squad.
Nice job, guys.
That should be enough to place them within the top 6 at the moment.
So Nate, with a 16.5 second Hill 1, 2:25, where do you think they lost some of that time? Was it in the free roll or was it in the back hills that they just didn't have the speed compared to their front hills?
Yeah, I think it was probably in the free roll. The back hills looked pretty fast. There was a lot of wobbling going on, especially during the transition. We've got the Fringe team coming up here. Fringe Women's B, Gloria Wang finishing this Hill 5, coming across at around a 3:08. So pretty solid time from them as well. Not quite enough to place them within the trophy range, I don't think, but a great showing from Fringe B.
A great heat. We used to call this duo Frigette. Love to see them out in the same heat, as always.
All right, everyone. We have Siget now at drops. This is a place traditionally where they have struggled a little bit, so hopefully we don't see that today. We can see a continuation of our drop successes. Okay, Kraken is rolling down here. We've got a jacket as a stop flag. Okay, they have passed the first one.
I'm holding my breath down here.
Waiting
at
on
the edge of my seat.
Second break is good.
Nice job,
Third
Siget.
break is good, and they have pass drops.
Good job, guys.
So we think that's a really good sign for them. If they were able to put up that time and pass drops easily, it was not even close to them failing today. I think that's a really good sign for Siget for their A team later.
That's music to my ears.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I've been within a second, which I think is fine. So yeah, if I start having issues though, I'll let you know.
Break.
And Bermuda pass drops with the break and release, and they were still within the stop line. So that might be our best braking performance so far today.
Nice job, Bermuda.
I think we should have a secondary competition, which is just a leaderboard of how fast you can break at drops.
I like that.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But yeah, Connor, I guess back to your earlier point, I think it was probably mostly in the free roll and in the shoot turn. It looked like a good shoot turn, definitely a bit of wobbling though, and I imagine that cost them some momentum coming into Hill 3.
Just to get those times in, you have on the men's side, Siget Men's B currently sitting in 5th place with a 2:25.49. That is just basically 1/10 of a second faster than SDCC yesterday. And on the women's side, Fringe B coming across at 3:08.44, but a potential push bar violation on the Hill 5, which I don't know that anyone had a view of that. But again, if you're watching this live, there will be video later on this YouTube channel.
Hey, Brian, we are at 45 seconds, my friend. No buggies have come out of their trucks yet, but who do we have in this heat, Nate?
All right, this next heat is going to be SAE Women's A rolling Barbie versus DG Men's A rolling Insight. A little Greek battle here.
And the DG girls are carrying Insight out to the line. That buggy might be older than everybody currently in their house.
Yeah, an old Fringe buggy. I believe built in 2003 or something, so older than a lot of the people here for sure.
10,
All right, we are at the countdown.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, go!
And we are off. They lifted the tail a little bit there on the DG Men's A side.
Yeah, but really making some separation here for the DG pusher. You would expect them to come out ahead on the front hills. That's Austin on, coming up onto the 1-2 transition here, pushing off to Jack Laird. But honestly, not that far behind here. SAE Women's A. Audrey Bianco on the Hill 1, pushing off to Maddie Kellogg, as DG gives a really early Hill 2 shove with about a 32.5 crosswalk time. SAE right behind him at about a 36 crosswalk time. And there is not a whole lot of separation between these buggies, maybe 5 or 6 buggy lengths. But Insight, you imagine, probably create some separation here off that Hill 2. Keeping a pretty tight line to the curb here is Insight, coming around that first bend, about halfway between the bike lane line and the curb. Lost sight of the buggy coming here. Stop sign time around 102, 103 for Insight. So, sort of around that second clustering for those men's teams, I think. Have lost sight here of Barbie as we pass the transition flag.
Delta Gamma. Got the shoot flag. Wonderful turn by Delta Gamma. And Barbie's coming through too.
Consistently impressed by the driving of these DG drivers in this old buggy. Really nice Hill 3 pickup. The pickups today have been really nice, actually, from all of these teams. That's Dennis Muhitin. No, I'm so sorry. Their pronunciation is there. But a nice shove off to Hill 4 to Fergus Wong. And he is moving on this Hill 4, holding the buggy for a couple of steps in between each push. Is a sort of a technique I haven't really seen a lot of. Generally, people try to shove it in stride, but it seems to be working for him. He's looking quite fast.
Barbie just did her 3-4 transition.
And big shove from Hill 4 to Hill 5. That's going to be Bennett Matthews coming up. This is a really fast-looking Hill 5 coming across the 220 mark here. This DG team looking quite fast. Coming up on the finish line, got to make sure to keep your hand on that push bar. Going to be coming across here at around a 234 for DGA. And SAE Women's A coming up not that far behind him. That's Kate Bergen pushing the Hill 5. Chugging right along, looking really fast. Keeping the hand on the push bar as we cross the line for about a 301, 302, somewhere in that ballpark. So that should be good enough to put them right on the border of a podium time here for the women's side.
And I just want to point out, with the times today, I think so Sophie certainly noted it today. It's cold. It's early in the morning. This is if you are new to Buggy, race day usually begins at like 8:30 and ends somewhere around 1 p.m. Yesterday and today we have 6:30 a.m. today goes until a maximum of 8:30. So between that and
Hey, Ryan, I got eyes on drops down here for DG. They are also using the famous jacket drops flag. That's been a pretty popular one today, I think, because of how cold it is. Everyone's got extra jackets floating around. And Insight, in a typical Fringe Buggy fashion, passes very easily on its first pull. Break and release twice, break and release 3 times, and they have passed drops.
And that
Nice.
that DGA time coming in at a 2:34.05. That puts them in 11th place, while on the men's side, the SAE women's team just coming in at a 3:01.68, which puts them in 9th.
So we got eyes now on SAEA's drops with Barbie. All right, Buggy has been released. Their windshield is pretty fogged up right now, but that doesn't stop her from passing drops pretty easy on the first. But the Buggy hasn't seemed to release its brakes. So it won't roll forward, so might be stuck in a crash. Oh, there it goes. We have a release and brake.
Fogged windshield brings me back. That is what happens when you drive this early and this cold. You got to breathe in there.
Hopefully somebody can get them some soap or something to defog before that next race.
And
the defog only works so well.
As we reach the point of the day where every heat from this point on will have an A team, either a men's or a women's, I'm going to quickly run through the top 10 on the men's and women's side. But feel free, Connor, jump in if we're running low on time to the next heat. On the men's side, currently CIA A in first with a 2:11.49, Pica A second with a 2:18.65, CIA B in third with a 2:20.27, CMU A fourth 2:21.64, CMU B 2:25.49, SDC C 2:25.61. That's your top 6 on the men's. On the women's side, you got SDC A in first currently with a 2:39.06, SDC B in second with a 2:45.45, CAAC third with a 2:46.81, Fringe A fourth with a 2:51.35, CMU A in fifth with a 2:54.59, and Apex A with a 2:54.91 is currently sixth.
Thanks for that update. I guess looking to our next heat here, I'm not sure exactly how much time we have, but one of the heavy hitters of the day, Spirit Men's A, will be rolling in Zook in this next heat. Up against Apex Men's C, rolling in their new build, Helios.
So we've got 28 seconds here. Spirit has a big contingent of people yelling out here, coming up behind their absolute beast of a Hill 1 pusher. We're expecting some pretty good performance out of him.
10, 9.
All right, we are at the countdown.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, go!
And the buggies are
Love hearing
away.
that hype down there.
This Hill pusher for Spirit is just already multiple buggy lengths ahead of the Apex Men's C pusher. That's Mark Martinez pushing Zook, coming up to the 1-2 transition already. That's about a 16.5, and a nice transition off to Hill 2. That's going to be Sam Tello. Let's see where that push-off comes in. Nice push-off and about a 28-second stop sign time for Spirit A. So among the fastest we've seen so far this weekend. And Zook is rolling quite nicely here. Looks like Apex just crossed around a 38.5-second crosswalk time. But they are not going to be in frame here much longer. Zook is flying, keeping really close to the curb, much closer than any of the other teams we've seen today, coming around the first bend of the course. Let's see where that stop sign time is. Going to be around a 56.5-second stop sign time. So
Yes.
a couple seconds ahead of where Sig B was earlier today, but maybe a second or two behind some of the top teams from yesterday on the men's side.
All right, Duke. Perfect line. Her hill 3 pushers getting hyped. Let's see what they got.
Yeah, really nice shoot turn there from Spirit, from Zook. And a great hill 3 pickup for Colby Oland. 2 pushes. I think that was only, unless I looked down to look at a name, but that I think was only 2 pushes on the hill 3 and a late shove in the transition zone. Pushing off to Z Akike, who is blasting up hill 4. This is going to be quite a fast time. The 4-5 transition coming at around 2 minutes here. You can hear the Spirit team around me just absolutely hyped up for this men's team. This hill 5 pusher, William Montague, is flying, coming across 215, 217, and this is going to be a sub 225 for sure. I couldn't quite see the finish line, but I have it at around a 221. It might be a little faster than that. I couldn't quite see when the buggy crossed the line. But that is a great time for Spirit A.
Congrats, Spirit.
And looks like Apex Men's C is coming up here. That is Brandon Bavo pushing this hill 5, coming across the line in their new buggy Helios at around a 250.
And if that 220, 221-ish time is official, we'll get that when it comes in. That would put them right in the top 3 in that third, fourth, the kind of the battle for third here with CIA B and CMU A.
All right, Brian, we got eyes on Zook here for drops. Buggy is rolling down the hill, picking up a little bit of speed. We got a shirt for a stop flag this time. And Spirit explodes with
I know the
emotion
result.
here in the
You
background.
didn't have to say anything.
We got a release. We got another release and break. We got our third release and break, and there it is. Spirit's A time is official.
Right on,
So we can
Spirit.
hear all the energy through your microphone down there, Connor.
We do have those official times. They are in. Spirit A time is a 221.36. That puts them just behind CIA B and just ahead of CMU A, putting them in 4th place, a solid trophy position so far. With Apex C coming in at a 250.33, which puts them 17th so far.
And Helios has easily passed drops down here as well. So we continue our streak today. Maybe I should stand around the drops more often. I seem to be a good omen.
Seems to be.
Yeah, really great job there from Spirit A, and we'll see if they can hold on to that top 6 spot with just a few more heavy hitters on the men's side coming up. SDC A, SDC B, and SIGEP A, the main ones to watch. And I was just handed hand warmers very graciously. Thank you. Shout out to the BAA, shout out to CMUTV, W3VC. If anyone else who's helping out with this, if I forgot someone, I'm sorry, but shout out to everyone. Sweepstakes, who's been putting all this together for us this weekend.
So I have a quick, interesting note from bottom of the hill, maybe hearkening back to the days of old. SDC has a bunch of boxes of shoes down here. And if anybody was around in the late 2010s, late 00s, early 2010s, you remember every year SDC would show up with new boxes of new shoes seems like maybe that tradition is coming back.
You mean they push in new shoes?
Yes. Provided
Yeah, I
by
saw
interesting.
they buy a bunch of. I'm pretty sure they buy a bunch of used like track spikes and take the spikes out of them. I saw them out there at Truck Weekend. All the pushers were sort of trying on the shoes, figuring out which ones they were going to use on race day.
All right, that's cool. And we might be cold out here and it might be early, but remember that these students have been out multiple weekends a year.
The volunteers are all down here dancing to the Spirit music, trying to keep themselves warm, which is joining in on the Spirit dance party a little early. We're at 45 seconds for this heat.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about the teams in the next heat. We're going to have CIA Women's B rolling in Emperor up against Fringe Men's A rolling in their new buggy Bermuda.
The Fringe driver is wiping down the inside of her windshield a little bit, so definitely having some continuing fogging issues for some of the teams.
And I'm not surprised, because if anyone's breathing out here, you can see the condensation in front from your breath. So, and like defog and soap can only do so much. So
we are at the countdown.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, go!
And we are off.
CIA Women's B versus Fringe Men's A. Holden Neely taking a solid lead here on Hill 1, although the CIA Women's B, Justine Katz on Hill 1, no slouch for sure. And yeah, Holden Neely, about a, 18 or 19 second Hill 1, pushing off to Lex Capistani on Hill 2. And their new buggy looking very nice. Nice shove for about a 32 second crosswalk time. Takes a little bit of a tumble there. CIA coming across the crosswalk around a 37.5. So some separation between these buggies. Nothing, not too crazy, but I don't expect Emperor to be catching up to Bermuda in this free roll. Bermuda taking a pretty close line here to the curb, coming around that cone. And we'll see where the stop sign time is relative to some of these other top teams. Around a 59-second stop sign time. So again, sort of around that second grouping of men's teams here as we come up on the transition flag. Coming out a little wider than some of the other teams around the green box by that transition.
all right, Bermuda. Nice roll. Here comes Emperor. And Emperor is getting kind of close there. Let's see.
Yeah, definitely making up some ground. Bermuda, a little bit of a power slide on Hill, or in that shoot turn. And yeah, only a couple buggy lengths separating these teams, but you imagine the Fringe Men's A pushers will separate themselves on these back hills. That was Jacques Moy on the Hill 3, pushing off to Constantine Westerink on Hill 4. And this is looking like a very fast men's team, very fast Hill 4. Coming across 2 minutes now, right before the 4-5 transition. That's going to be Ben Colby taking Bermuda to the home stretch, looking to secure a spot in those top 6 teams. Coming right up on 220. And this Hill 5 is almost finished. Ben Colby making sure to get his hand on the push bar as he crosses the line. Going to be coming across around a 227. So right on that bubble, but sort of in the middle of that second grouping of teams. And the CIA Women's B, this is a really fast women's time for the Women's B team. Pauline Zhang coming across at a 244.
Awesome.
That is a blazing fast women's time, beating out their C team by a couple seconds, and if that time is official, beating out SDCB as well.
That's awesome.
It's a pretty good omen for their A team later today, huh?
I sure hope so.
And you lose sight of the fact, this was a women's team against a men's team, so you're so focused on that men's A, and then here's the women's B putting up what is potentially a second place time right now.
Yeah, a little unfortunate that we weren't able to sort of see them in a normal race day. They probably would have been the leading team in their heat.
Yeah.
But great
they
job
had
by both teams.
Maybe it helped their speed a little bit.
Yeah, when you're chasing that buggy in front of you, it gives you that little extra energy to kind of catch up to them.
Yeah, the chase factor is something that definitely is talked about. I know a lot of teams have different strategies about how they want to place their teams during heat selection, and a lot of teams do opt to try to place their B teams and maybe their C teams with teams who are expected to be a little faster than them and just give their pushers that little extra bit of adrenaline and excitement to catch up to those pushers.
And we do have those times. I'm going to put them up here on the stream. On the men's side, Fringe A coming in with a 2:27.04. That puts them currently in 8th place, about 0.3 of a second ahead of CIAC, a little bit behind SDCC. That CIA B time on the women's side, a 2:44.42, which is good for second place right now.
Great job to both teams there.
I've got some good updates from drops. We've seen 2 passes in a row here, so streak continues, guys.
Let's go. No
That's
drops
great.
failures. I just want to point out I nailed the Fringe men's A time to the millisecond that time with my back of truck stopwatch timing. So I apologize for missing the first one, but I've upped my game.
Hey, that would be a Will Weiner shout out to myself moment.
I got to do my best to fill his shoes.
And you're doing a great job. The play-by-play is very good.
Thank you. Thank you. This next heat's going to be a solo roll, actually, from Pike Women's A in Raptor.
This is the only solo run of the day, I believe.
It is, Brian, and there's also kind of zero context for how Pike A, their women's team, is going to do this year. So they're definitely a wild card for possibly some hardware.
Pike's put up some great women's squads.
And again,
they definitely can't be underestimated.
For that hardware, they will need to beat currently the final trophy spot is held by CMU A with a 2:54.59. So they'll need to beat it at 2:54.59 to get into that trophy spot. Though there are 3
You're at
more
1
women's A teams
minute.
to come. With 3 more women's A teams to come, you probably want to be in that top 4. So really, they're looking to try and get into that 2:44, 2:45, 2:46 range to really secure a trophy today.
We are at 40 seconds, and there's some panicked voices coming out of the Pika truck, so this one might be tight.
Yeah, hopefully we can have them get into the line on time. If there's anything I've learned about Pika from my time here, it's that you cannot count them out until the minute. Well, you can never count them out, but certainly not until the minute that buggy hits the course, because once the pushers are out and the buggy is out, they'll surprise everyone.
Yeah, guys, we're at 10 and they're still in the truck, so they're not going to make this one, unfortunately.
All right, well, maybe now it's time to start.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
Did they start or no?
They're about 10, maybe 15 seconds behind here. Unfortunately, they almost dropped the buggy coming out of the truck, So
I started my timer when the pusher started pushing, so this will be an unofficial time of their roll around the course. Molly Coin pushing up hill 1. Yeah, it's fun. We're here for fun. And that's pretty good hill 1 there from Molly Coin, about a 26 second hill 1. Again, very unofficial because I was just going off of what I could see, but passing off to Maria Drzenovic on hill 2. Pushing Raptor here. And a really, really early shove. That might have even been before the crest of hill 2 with that shove. And Raptor is kind of just inching towards the crosswalk. That's a 54.5 second crosswalk time for Pike here. But now picking up some speed as we roll down the back end of this hill 2. And yeah, let's see what Raptor can do here with maybe less starting speed than the driver would have been expecting. Coming around in this bike lane and kind of just maintaining that pace. I have lost sight of the buggy. I'll get you an update when we can see it again. But yeah, I guess truly a wild card for this Pike Women's A team. Raptor rolling up to the stop sign. I have my concerns about whether this buggy will actually make it to the transition. It's about a 1:50 stop sign time. Yeah,
I see what you're saying, Nate. Yeah.
I'm getting information that probably isn't relevant most of the time, but technically Hill 3 starts at the monument. So as long as Raptor makes it to the monument, this poor Hill 3 pusher can run all the way out here and pick it up.
It looks like they're stopping.
Yeah, it seems like Raptor has come to a halt. The flagger is running out to the buggy to give it a little nudge, maybe to just get Raptor back up and moving again. Yep, okay. So a little nudge from the flagger, and Raptor is once again in motion, although maybe not enough of a nudge.
Depending on what happened, maybe she'll get a reroll.
Potentially, yeah. Okay, here we go. Raptor coming into the transition now. You know, maybe that's one of the benefits of Pike having their flaggers stand out in the middle of the road, is they can get to the buggy faster if it stops after the stop sign.
The Pike pusher's coming down. She's ready for it. Let's see.
Maybe some anticipation of
All
where
right,
this
Raptor.
buggy might end up.
I'm sure they've got a great push squad.
Yeah, this is going to be a really long Hill 3, so you know, maybe getting more than you paid for if you are this Pike Hill 3 pusher, Catherine Marshall. This is
people cheering her on.
This is a nice Hill 3, considering it's 3 to 4 times as long as you probably were expecting at, you know, coming out of push practice or truck weekend. Catherine Marshall trucking along here. We're coming up on 4 minutes. But, you know, it's just great to see all of these orgs being able to field teams in you know, multiple teams in each division, or some teams, you know, some orgs just teams in one division or 2 divisions, but it's just great to see people getting out here and participating in this tradition that we all have come to love so much and care so much about. That is...
Nice. There you go, Catherine. Nice job.
Yeah, great job from Catherine.
Yeah.
And this Hill 4 pusher, absolutely flying. They probably know it, you know, they probably have some idea that something didn't go right somewhere earlier in the roll, but they are not letting that get to them. These pushers are still giving it their all, and they want to show that regardless of the end result, that they are able to, you know, have something that they can go home and be proud of on this race day. Coming up to the 4-5 transition, that's going to be Maya Gunning passing off to Alma Zong. And pretty good transition there. Alma picking up some speed, shoving off Raptor here. Coming across the 5-minute mark here. And Alma Zong putting up a really nice Hill 5 here for the Pike team. Don't have an exact... Well, let's see. Got to make sure to keep her hand on the push bar. Coming across the finish line at a 5:30.7. That was about a 27-second Hill 5, which is a very strong Hill 5 time. But yeah, definitely some mechanical issues and you know, maybe organizational issues in that heat for Pike, but just great for them to even be out here with a women's team.
Hey guys, we're at 1:15 to the next heat here. There's a little bit of a scramble. We may have something going on, so I'll keep you posted.
All right.
because Pike still hasn't made it to the drop line yet.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to delay anything to give Pike some time to get to drops here, or if they're going to move drops onto the sidewalk. I see some Sweeps members running around frantically trying to direct Pike and stay on schedule here.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to run the heat. They just moved the Pike buggy over to the side. SIGEP is out here at the line with plenty of time to spare. They were at about 45 seconds, and we're waiting on the Apex men's B buggy to come out.
Yeah, this is a really interesting heat. This is SIGEP men's A in Barracuda versus Apex men's B in Solaris. And SIGEP men's A, I think, is one of the favorites at this point to find their way into a top 3 spot on this men's side. So this is going to be really interesting to see.
The sun is just trying to peek through.
Yeah, Apex is going to miss this heat, so it's going to be a solo run.
All right, let's see what SIGEP can do.
2, 1, ready, set, go!
Derek Ho coming up hill 1 here for SIGEP men's A, looking very fast. SIGEP A knows what they're capable of. Aspirations of a top 3 or maybe even a title finish here in the men's division. As I have that at about a 16-second hill 1, takes a tumble on the transition, but a great shove to Tejas Patel, who is absolutely moving on this hill 2. Going to be giving a nice shove. And that's a crosswalk time of around 28 seconds. So very fast, right up with sort of what we're seeing at the top of the leaderboards here for the men's side. And Kuda is flying. We are already around that first bend of the free roll. Barracuda staying nice and close to the curb here. Really, really nice driving from Miyamoto, a very experienced driver. Let's see what the stop sign time is to give us some idea. That is a 54-second stop sign time. That is right up there with Pike and CIA on the men's side. So this is going to be a very competitive time as we come across the transition and into the chute. What are you seeing, Sophie?
I'm seeing a fierce fish flying through the chute. Nailed it. Let's go, SIGEP.
That is a great chute turn from this SIGEP squad, and this hill 3 pickup is going to be crucial.
That is a 7-window blowout.
Beautiful rollout and a great hill 3 pickup. A push, 1 bump, and a big shove to the hill 4 transition. Not even at a minute 40 here yet. That was Jason Shin pushing off to Jay Shaw. And this SIGEP squad is looking fast. They are gunning for that top time of the weekend, and they might just get it. Jay Shaw ready to make that 4-5 transition, pushing off to Andre Da Silva. Not even across 2 minutes yet here. This is going to be right up with the top times of the day. 2:01, 2:02. Andre Da Silva running for his life. Coming across the finish line. This is going to be right in line with CIA's time. Very close. Coming across at a 2:14.08. A great showing for SIGEP men's A. That should place them solidly in second place in the men's division at the moment.
That's awesome.
Really, really great roll there. Great driving, great front hills, great back hills. That was a well-drilled SIGEP squad, and they showed it.
One thing I want to call attention to here, if you are new or just tuning in, a normal race day, you'll have 10 minutes between heats. In a cramped race day, you'll have 8 minutes between heats. This weekend, in order to get everything in, we're at 7 minutes between heats. So you're seeing more mechanical issues or struggles to get buggies out. You know, I don't know the reason for Apex not coming out for this heat, but you had the 1 minute between Pika's women's and SIGEP men's here. You had the hatch issue with SIGEP C yesterday. Like it's.
Hey Brian, I got my eyes on drops down here. SIGEP is using what looks like a house flag maybe as their drops flag today.
Fingers crossed.
Buggy is rolling. Barracuda is coming down to that stop flag. She skids for a little bit, but she has made it before the line. There's a release, break, release, break, release, break. It continues. We have not had a failed drops yet today, everyone.
Oh.
And that's great news for SIGAP, putting up an outstanding time. I don't know, do we have official times yet on that one?
We do. The official time for SIGAP A is a 2:14:39. A 2:14:39. That puts them squarely in second place, safely in second place, I would say, with just one men's A team remaining, that being SDCA at the end. So SIGAP looking at at an almost certain top three finish here. Again, CIA currently in the lead with a 2:11:49. SIGEP A that 2:14:39, just about 3 seconds behind that, and then it's another a little over 4 seconds back to Pika A currently in third.
Yeah, and I think they're definitely eyeing that third place trophy, but in this next heat we've got a team that could definitely play spoiler to that. We're gonna have Spirit Women's A versus STC Men's B, who have historically put up some top three finishes in the men's division themselves. They're definitely looking to play spoiler to that SIGEP run or the Pika run if they can. And on the women's side, Spirit back-to-back winners in 22 and 23. Not as strong of a showing as in those years last year, but I'm sure they are hungry to be back on the top in this women's division.
And I'm officially putting my sunglasses on.
Yeah, it's starting to warm up a little bit, although I know everyone yesterday was talking about, oh, it's going to be warmer on Sunday than it was today. That has not been the case at all.
It's not warm, but there is sun. And one of my favorite parts of being a spectator in Buggy is seeing the twinkle on the windshield when they go between the two flags. So we'll get a couple of those, especially with the windshield in SDC they like have the chrome finish,
It's got the
which
1
I've always
minute
thought was cool. And congrats to SIGEP for bringing the heat with both Barracuda and Kraken today. Pass and drops. Great job.
45 seconds. I'm really excited to watch this heat. These are two heavy hitter teams in their respective divisions, and I'm just hoping we can get good sight and good views of both of these buggies on the course throughout the entirety of the race and get them both the coverage they deserve.
So SDC is training their men's A or men's B Hill 1 pusher that there's no beep today, and it's going to be a ready, set, go. That's interesting.
Yeah, normally pushers are hearing the beep for the first time on race day, not the other way around.
So we are at 10. Spirit is running to the line. They're going to be late here and get a 5-second DQ, unfortunately.
3, 2, 1, ready, set, go!
And we are off.
All right. SDC Men's B versus Spirit Women's A. That is John Liu pushing Hill 1 for SDC, getting some good separation from Ella Sanfilippo on Spirit Women's A, who, unfortunately with the 5-second may end up getting DQ'd, but a great shove there. About a 19-second Hill 1 for SDC, pushing off to Lewis Rockwell on Hill 2, former SDC chair, pushing Paranoia, and a great shove with about a 28.5-second stop sign time. So quite fast from a B team, and maybe around sort of where the bottom end of that upper echelon of the men's teams. But wow, is Paranoia flying! Can't even see Seraph in the frame right now. And this is what we've come to expect from SDC, is these just like absolutely monster free rolls. Coming around the stop sign at around a 55-second stop sign time, right around where CIAB was, if I remember correctly, on their stop sign time. So that might be an interesting head-to-head to look out for as well as we come into the shoot flag.
SDC is just blasting. They brought some speed today.
Really great. A little bit of a wider turn, but, still maintaining a lot of speed. And this Hill 3 pusher got a little burned, but gets to the pickup. Absolutely moving. That is Shaborn Leggett. 2 shoves, a bump, and another shove.
Spirit with another great shoot turn down here for Women's A.
And I'm sorry, that was Andrew Zhang, not Shaborn Leggett. But Santiago Gomez pushing Hill 4 here for SDCB. This is going to be quite a fast B team time. I can't even see Seraph on the back hills. The shove into the 4-5 transition for Tan Chi Lo coming up on this hill 5. Just inside 2 minutes now, and this is going to be a sub 220 time for SDCB. They might even be looking to beat Sigep here. Coming across the finish line at a 2:15 roughly. I believe I started my stopwatch a little bit late, but I might have also stopped it a little bit late. So we're going to see what that official time is, but it's right around where Sigep was. Spirit A on the women's side coming up on hill 5. That is Firdaus Lawal pushing the hill 5 for Spirit A coming across. This is going to be a pretty respectable women's time as well, maybe finding them in trophy position, pending any DQs, and they come across at a 2:53.
Congrats, Spirit. With the DQ or not, they still place in our hearts.
Yep, and even if there's a DQ, that time I believe will still, count in the record books as a time. So great stuff to both teams there. Yeah, great showing from SEC Men's B. Potentially playing spoiler to Sigap and certainly playing spoiler to the Pike squad.
All right, so we got an eye on Paranoia down here at drops. Drop flag for SDC is an SDC sweatshirt, so continuing a recent trend of clothing as flags.
All right, dropping you in 3, 2, 1, go.
Paranoia has been released and is now rolling. Solid stop right there. Break and release 1, 2, 3 times, and you're not out. You're through. No drop failures.
And we do
That's great.
We do have those official times. SDCB coming in with everyone on the stream can already see it, and I got to find the tab. A 2:16.27. So that puts
us
started late
behind Sigep A, but ahead of Pika A, who currently sits in 4th.
All right.
All right. And
What was
Spirit
that?
drops easily again, so we're having a really good day here at the drops line.
On the women's side, that Spirit A time, a 2:54.73. That 2:54 spot is super tight. Right now, CMU A is in that 6th place trophy spot with a 2:54.59. Spirit A 7th, just 14 hundredths of a second behind at 2:54.73. And Apex A just 18 hundredths of a second behind them with a 2:54.91.
Yeah, well, down to the last 2 heats here, and 2 of the heaviest hitters of all in these last 2 heats. Heat 10, we're going to have actually a heat rematch from last year's race day, CIA Women's A in Goldfinch versus DG Women's A in Insight. And then in our last heat, it's going to be Spirit Men's C versus the dreaded SDC Men's A team. So we're not going to know who our winners are until it really comes down to these last 2 heats, and I think that is just the most exciting way we could have had it.
I'm excited for these last 2 heats.
And speaking of winners, as we prepare for this, the award ceremony for men's and women's will be, I believe, today at 4:30 p.m. on Flagstaff Hill. So if you're in town and want to come check that out and cheer on the winners, that's when we'll know for sure who has won. But also stay tuned on CMUBuggy.org, where we will have the latest updates.
I'm really glad we can give these students an award ceremony. Shout out again and again to Sweepstakes and the BAA. Brian Arsham come to us remotely today. We couldn't have done this without you.
So James,
My job is easy here.
We
I'm
are at
just clicking
15
buttons.
seconds down here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, go!
And we are off for what might be the closest race of the day.
Yeah, Anya Pepper pushing Hill 1 here for CIAA, looking to repeat from last year, racing against Ariana Martellini on Hill 1 for DGA. I can't quite see the finish. Looks like around a 21-second Hill 1 there for CIA, pushing off to Emma Kulbita on Hill 2. And this is looking as fast as anything we've seen from any of the women's teams this year. A nice shove with about a 33.5, 34-second crosswalk time for Goldfinch. Insight coming around now, putting up about a 41-second crosswalk time. Goldfinch is flying. The time to beat on the women's side, SDCA, with a 2:39. Goldfinch taking a close line in near the curb here. Some of these later teams and the A and B teams, we've been seeing those drivers tend to hug this curb a little more closely around that first turn. Maybe a sign of experience for these drivers. A 1:03-second stop sign time, so right up there at the top with everyone else we've seen. And this is going to come down to the wire. It's going to come down to the back hills pushers.
Goldfinch.
All right, good luck, Good luck, Brayden.
Zooming. Another superb line by CIA this weekend. Really proud of them. And here comes Delta Gamma.
And that is a jumbo rollout from Goldfinch.
Oh, yeah.
The Hill 3 pusher for CIA, Anna Prouty, getting a little bit burned, but just one bump.
Barely.
One push, one bump, and then a big shove off to Catherine Orr on Hill 4.
A reminder that
we are at about a
2:39.06.
Yep, 2:39. We're coming at around a 1:52 right now, about halfway through Hill 4. This is going to come right down to the wire. This is going to be really, really close. Catherine Orr doing her best to give a big shove for the Hill 5 pusher. That's going to be Anna Lou picking up the Hill 5 buggy. She's got about 30 seconds to get here and take that top spot away from SDCA. And she is looking quite fast. She is looking like she wants to take the top time. CIA looking to repeat, and it's looking like they are going to do it. Coming across the finish line. I can't actually see the finish line. I have that at 2:35. I think it's probably about a second faster than that because I couldn't see the finish line. But that looks very solidly ahead of where SDC was.
Congrats,
DG
CIA.
coming across as well. Very nice time from them. Probably going to be a sub 2:55 coming across the line here at a 2:58. All right, so I can't quite count, but really nice time from them, under 3 minutes. But yeah, barring any strangeness at drops or spot safeties or anything else, it seems like we will be congratulating CIA on Flagstaff Hill today in the women's division.
Congratulations to them preemptively. Hopefully, it looked like there were no issues with that roll. Really nice and clean. You can have two competitive A team in the same heat, and as long as you're smart about the heat selection, you can always make it safe. So,
and we do
kudos to everyone involved.
We do have the official time for CIAA. It is a 2:34.74, which puts CIAA well into first in the women's division with no women's teams left to go. So,
nice job.
Again, barring any DQs or anything that we don't know, and we've still got drops to go, which Connor will update us on. CIAA sitting in first. DGA with a 2:58.39 puts them in 10th right now.
Connor is actually in the truck with me right now, so I will see if I can hear the cheering, whether or not drops is successful for CIA. Are you going to be...
And then failing would be atypical.
Yeah, me neither.
We got some CIA alums in the chute here, looking real happy.
CIA seems to be running back to the tent. I see high fives and hugs. It seems like everything went well at drops. So, again, still preemptive, but barring any crazy changes, which CIA is certainly no stranger to with their A teams, congratulations to them for taking the women's side trophy this year with a pretty strong margin over SDCA.
We'll see if CIA sweeps.
And we'll see.
Yeah, looking for.
With this last heat is going to be Spirit Men's C going up against SDC Men's A. As a reminder, the time to beat on the men's side right now is a 2:11:49. That spot currently held by CIA A. SIGEP A currently in second with a 2:14:39.
Yeah, I fully expect SDC to be putting up a much closer fight in this heat than maybe they did on the women's side. Their B team coming within 3 seconds of CIA's A team this year, and you have to think that their A team is going to be a good bit faster than that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Excuse me, 5 seconds, not 3 seconds, but still quite a strong time from their B team.
And what Buggy's rolling for SDCA?
This is Bane, and
All right,
Kingpin
Bane.
for Spirit.
Do we know how much time?
Two veteran Buggies.
We don't have anyone down at the bottom of the hill at the moment. Connor is riding in the lead truck here, getting the best view on the course for this last heat. So I will try to do the countdown from here, I guess. SDC bringing Bane out to the line. Haven't heard a 10-second warning or anything yet. Yeah, okay, we're 3, 2,
1.
And they are off. SDCA looking to claim this men's title. This is Jaden Bridges pushing up hill 1, and the Spirit C pusher actually keeping pace for a while, but the SDC pusher breaking away towards the end there, and a huge shove actually rattles the buggy a little bit, maybe even lifts a back wheel on that 1-2 transition. Daniel Lynn flying down hill 2, just grabbing that buggy right at the end, in a crosswalk time of about 27.5 seconds. Just a smidge ahead of where CIA and their and SEC's B team were. But Spirit C, not that far behind. Actually, a very, very nice showing from them so far. And Bane is rolling. Keeping about halfway between that bike lane line and the curb as we come to the stop sign time. This is going to be a 53.5, 54 second stop sign time. So again, this is going to come down to those back hills and to the quality of the shoot turn. This is just right on pace with all the top times we've seen today and yesterday.
Bane's making her turn.
Little bit of a slide there from Bane. Yeah, actually, Spirit C here, Kingpin, catching up.
Spirit is not far behind, yeah.
Nathan Amani Luru with a great Hill 3 pickup. Looks like he gave 1, 2 shoves and then the push off to Hill 4. That is Braden Morford for SDC, looking to take this top time away from CIA, just as CIA did in the women's side to SDC. And this Hill 4 is absolutely moving. We are not even within a minute 50. Om Patel hyping up the Hill 4 pusher. Here comes the transition, and Om Patel has got about 17 seconds on this Hill 5 to try to take the top spot away from CIAA. This is going to come right down to the wire. 208, 210, and it looks like CIA is going to hold on. Om Patel crossing the finish line around a 2:15.31, just a hair ahead of their B team, but barring, waiting on those official times and barring any surprise DQs, it looks like CIA will hold on to the top spot in the men's division.
All right.
Okay, and I've just been told we're going to have a reroll for Apex B men's B. men's B as well. So barring any craziness from the Apex men's B team, it looks like CIA will remain on top in the men's and the women's divisions.
Congrats, CIA. Preliminarily.
I'm a little curious because, yesterday I think SDCA on the women's side with Bane had a particularly slow free roll for SDC, and here if they're around a 215, they're only about a second ahead of their B team on the men's side. So I wonder if there's something going on with Bane, but still a very good performance.
That's a good point.
SDC.
Yeah, Barsham. I mean, Bane looked really good in the shoot and looked like they had a solid rollout. But Paranoia on their B squads was really, really fast too. So I'm curious to see if there's any data that will kind of reveal that.
And we do have those official times. SDCA on the men's side coming in with a 2:15.86, which just beats out their B team by half a second, puts them in third, making the men's times right now. CIA A on top, SIGAP A in second, SDCA in third, SDCB in fourth, Pika A in fifth, and CIA B in sixth. Meanwhile, that Spirit C time coming in at 2:28.12. That's good for 13th. And then, as a reminder, on the women's side, CIA on the top of the leaderboard with a 2:34.74, SDCA second with a 2:39.06, CIA-B with a 2:44.32, SDCB with a 2:45.45, CIA-C getting into 3 trophy spots with a 2:46.81, and then Fringe A currently in 6th with a 2:51.35.
I can also add that everybody has passed drops. Spirit just passed and may have had the loudest celebration I've ever heard on race day, even more than teams winning.
Oh, Connor, if you're going to stopwatch, I do.
So I know we have Apex Men's B reroll coming up. They were originally scheduled for Heat 8. I don't know if we have official word as to why they're getting a reroll. My guess is it's related to the Pika Women's A Heat, the Heat before that, where their buggy issues resulted in a time of 5:37.88, giving Apex probably not a lot of time to get out into lane 2, while Pika A was still coming down the middle of hill 1 and heading to drops.
Brian, I'm hearing that the Apex roll is not going to be for time. They're just letting their senior driver get a final roll.
That's great.
Yeah, I believe Maggie.
And that's the spirit of Buggy, guys.
Maggie Blair, that driver. There's an excellent video with her on the CMU YouTube channel showing what it looks like to be inside a buggy.
Congrats to Maggie. I hope she enjoys her final roll.
So Nate is down celebrating with CIA to celebrate their women's and men's repeat wins. I'm going to be calling this heat from the lead truck. And I will say,
down in the chute.
Lead truck experience. And Sophie, I can't believe how fast you guys are rolling. When I'm sitting here in the back of the truck, it makes that speed feel real.
Yeah, it's great. The closest you can get to describing it is probably when you're taking off in an airplane, because the rumble is really what makes Buggy feel like Buggy.
Okay, and Apex is off. Their B team is also pushing in capes, so it's a full cape day for Apex, giving capes and Buggy a new connotation. They are blasting up here on this hill 1. They are approaching the 1-2 transition at about 19 seconds, and they shove it off late in the transition zone. Hill 2 pusher has taken it away. He is chugging. He's giving it little taps. He's keeping that Buggy close. He knows he got to get a big shove, which he does early in the transition, and Maggie is away, zooming into the free roll for her last roll here for Apex. Solaris is cruising. It's got a pretty good amount of speed. Nice solid line as she transitions across the street. Apologies if there's any wind noise in the background. I do not have a microphone on. We are coming around here down Shenley Drive between the trees. Sun is poking out through the clouds. We are approaching here at the stop sign. We're going to give Apex a clock time at about 1:03. Solaris is really cruising here, coming across to the transition. I think Sophie might have eyes on Solaris as it comes down now.
I do. She's picking up speed. Here comes Solaris. Shoot flag. Turn. Really nice shoot turn. Great last turn for this driver.
Sophie, I think she nailed that thing because this buggy's coming up hot.
Oh, yeah. Huge congrats.
The Hill 3 pusher picks it up at about 4 or 5 windows. Small burn on that. Shaborn Leggett is blasting here as he comes up to the Hill 3 to 4 transition. He gives it a nice big shove off, and Solaris is into Hill 4. We are cruising here, chugging away, pumping those arms, showing all of their athletic ability all at once. We've now hit the flat part of Hill 4 as we are coming up to that 4 to 5 transition. They are about at a 2:08, 2:09, 2:10, and the blast off to the Hill 5. This Hill 5 pusher is looking pretty good. Cruising in here, we're coming in around that 30 time. 31, 232, 233, 4, 5. About a 237 there for Apex. Everybody gets a chance to roll on race day, and that's what Buggy is all about. Everybody gets a chance to roll on race day, and that's what Buggy
Congrats to all the teams.
And yeah, this
Congrats to sweepstakes.
This certainly wasn't an easy year. If you're new to Buggy, this is the first time since 1999 that race day did not happen on a day of Carnival. This is the first time since 1981 that race day has been pushed to a different weekend entirely. So it's been 45 years, or 44 years since we've done this. 44 years ago, CIA won their first ever men's title with Black Magic on the following Sunday morning. And if the leaderboard stays correct here, and there's no changes or DQs or anything like that, 44 years later, CIAA is going to repeat that performance by taking both the men's and women's titles today, the Sunday, the week after Carnival. So it's a little bit of history repeating itself.
So, Brian, I'm keeping myself planted in the truck here. I'm hearing that there might be another re-roll, so we are going to hang out for a couple minutes.
Yeah. So a reminder, award ceremony will be today. You know, when we're talking about DQs on the broadcast or potential DQs on the broadcast, all of that's decided at 3:30 p.m. today during a chairman's meeting. There will be tape review going on today. There are cameras all over the course recording, both for tape review and so that we can get you the actual video to go along with the audio that you heard and hear as we see BAA President Jeremy Tuttle giving a hug to sweepstakes chair Elena Harley at the finish line. Just, you know, getting through this weekend. And then a reminder again, there is award ceremony today at 4:30 on Flagstaff Hill for both the men's and the women's trophies. If you're in Pittsburgh, make sure to come and join and celebrate your teams or cheer people on. If you're not in Pittsburgh, stay tuned to CMU.org for the live, or I guess the whatever the results are. And yeah, and then I'll throw my credits out there, but I don't know if there's do we have word on any formal re-rolls yet? I don't know. Connor, have you heard any updates on that?
Just got the word we are done.
All right. Well, in that case, I have to give a final shout out to, well, first of all, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Sweepstakes. That's Sweepstakes Chair Elena Harley, Assistant Chair Elliot Escalante, Safety Chair Laura Whitwick, the entire committee, Faculty Advisor Stacy Gardner, Elizabeth Koch for filling in this weekend in particular. Huge shout out to them for pulling this off. Last week was a nightmare. They pulled off. Elena had about 15 different plans, and all of them blew up due to Pittsburgh weather. So congratulations to her and the team for making it to like I'd say Plan Z or so in pulling this off. But I do want to also give a shout out to all of our volunteers who really stepped up this weekend. I am going to read off the list here that I've pulled together. These are camera operators, barricaders, judges, timers, drivers, setup and cleanup people. So I'm going to read off and broadcasters. So here's a huge list, and I apologize if I said your name wrong, but I do want to give everyone a shout out. Uh, Arya Bachu, Adeline Gao, Ann Colebrenner, Barb Kukurik, Ben Matsky, Connor Hayes, Chloe Lynn, Chris Good, Clarice Liu, Dan Becerra, David Yang, Dylan LaRue, E. Forney, Guillermo Gomez, Jake Moen, James Wong, Jeremy Tuttle, Kiera O'Flynn, Logan Watanabe, Matt Galabrese, Natalie McGuire, Nate Klein, Nate Miller, Onyx Mayer, Raghu Venkatesh, Sarah Diekman, Selena Eng, Shafiq Sinamoadine, Shannon Lee, Sophie Halpern, Thomas Flemley, Veronica Salas, Wade Gordon. I want a special shout out to Cassidy Carmen and the whole WRCT team for dealing with me yesterday and making sure the audio is heard on the course. Huge shout out to CMU-TV. I named some of the people in that list because some of them stepped up to be camera operators this weekend and help us out. Shannon in particular for coordinating all of that. W3VC for coming out and helping, run races like normal. CMU EMS for being out there. I want to thank the Pittsburgh Police for coming out. I want to thank the city of Pittsburgh for giving us permits for this weekend when there's other stuff going on in the area. A special thanks to Will Weiner for being the play-by-play guy in the lead truck yesterday. Special thanks to Nate Klein and Connor Hayes for taking that role today. Sophie Halpern, great job as always in the shoot. With that, the leaderboards are on the screen, but the final results will be available on cmubuggy.org later today. Feel free to check out award ceremony at 4:30 on Flagstaff Hill. And I will throw it out if anyone else has anything else to say. Otherwise, I'm Brian Arsham, coming to you remotely from a computer in a different state. And that is Bonus Race Day 2025.
Cool.